My dear students, I am Dr. Tessie Joseph Kallarakal, Assistant Professor, St. Joseph's Training College, Mananam. Today, we are going to discuss the topic School Timetable. This is the fifth unit of the last module, School Administration and Management of EDU 201. We are all familiar with the school timetable and following it throughout our studies. We know that timetable is a form of planning which is an essential component of an educational or any other kind of institution. The plan or chart in a school showing the daily allotment of time among several subjects, activities and classes can be called as a school timetable. In this session, we are discussing three aspects of school timetable such as types of timetable, need and importance of school timetable and principles that govern timetable construction. See, these are some of the definitions given by educational experts. According to them, timetable is the instrument through which the school functions and it acts as a framework within which the work of the school proceeds. In the second definition, timetable is the spark plug of school which sets into motion its various activities and programs. Again, a timetable is said to be the second school clock. It shows the hours during which the school work is done, what work is to be done during each period of the school day, and in each class, again the room in which the work is to be done and the teacher to be in charge of that work. From these definitions, we can infer the importance of school timetable in administration and management. So, the school timetable is a systematic and pre-planned schedule of all the activities that take place in a school. It shows the hours of schoolwork, the time allotted among different subjects, the teaching hours of each teacher, the length of each period, and the time of interval. It also shows the kind of activity in each class and the time for assembly. Time and duration for co-curricular activities in art, craft, sports and games, NCC, Scout, social services, etc. are also shown in the timetable. From this, we know that a good timetable clearly indicates what types of curricular and co-curricular activities are being carried on in the school at particular places and hours. It also shows under whose supervision and guidance those activities are being carried out. A single timetable with comprehensive details will not serve the purpose of carrying out efficient functioning of a school. Therefore, a school maintains different types of timetable. So the first one, class timetable. It is a timetable designed for each class. It shows the distribution of subjects in each class along with the teachers for each period. It also indicates the breaks in between the teaching periods and the time for games and other co-curricular activities. All the sections and classes in a school follow their respective class timetables and have a copy of it in their classroom. The class teacher, all the concerned teachers, as well as every student should have a copy of this. Now, teacher's timetable. Every teacher in a school maintains timetable showing the details of his or her academic work, other educational activities, and also vacant periods. A consolidated timetable containing the program of all the teachers in the school is also prepared for the guidance and supervision of the headmaster. A copy of this timetable is placed in the staff room and another copy in the headmaster's office. Next is vacant periods timetable. It's a special timetable showing the vacant periods of all teachers. It is useful in allotting additional work to teachers when someone is absent. A copy of this timetable is always available in the headmaster's office. Now, games timetable. Games timetable shows details of facilities offered to students for sports, games, and other physical activities together with the time and places for the same. This timetable also shows which group is engaged in a particular game at a particular time. Co-curricular activities timetable shows the various co-curricular activities offered in the school along with the names of teachers responsible for implementing such activities. Time and place for carrying out the activities are also shown in the timetable. Consolidated timetable is also referred to as the general timetable of a school. It shows a complete picture of the entire educational program that is to be carried out every day. It is the sum total of all the class timetables. At the same time, it is a record of every teacher's daily work with regard to his curricular and co-curricular activities together with the vacant periods allotted to him. This timetable is generally meant for the headmaster. Its copies should be available to all the teachers and also be put up in the staff room. The last one, homework timetable. It shows the details of homework to be set by each teacher to the class or classes in his subject during a week. It also shows the dates of submission of assignments by the students. Such a timetable is prepared well in advance so as to reduce strain and fatigue on the part of the students. It is desirable to prepare the timetable in duplicate. One is to be put up in the classroom for ready reference of the teachers and students, and the other is to be sent to the parents for securing their cooperation in this regard. We have discussed 7 different types of timetable with their purpose. Now, we are moving to the next aspect, that is, need and significance of school timetable. Timetable is really a mirror that reflects the entire educational program of the school. And the timetable is a necessary tool for the smooth and efficient functioning of a school. Thus, Success of the entire educational program depends on a timetable that is systematically designed. The importance of the school timetable may be enumerated as follows, such as timetable ensures smooth and orderly working of the school. We have already seen that in a timetable everything is planned well in advance. It places proper persons at their proper places at the proper time and in the right manner. By looking at the timetable, teachers and students come to know their work as well as the time for doing each item. Thus, it ensures smooth, orderly, and regular work in the school even in the absence of the headmaster. Timetable prevents waste of time and energy. Timetable shows exactly what is to be done at a particular time. It is helpful in directing the teachers' and students' energy and concentration to a particular item at a time. Such an arrangement helps in avoiding waste of time and energy on the part of both the teachers and students. It also prevents confusion, duplication, overlapping, and unnecessary repetition of work and effort. Timetable ensures equitable distribution of work among teachers. Proper designing of timetable is highly helpful in assigning equal work among the teachers. Thus, allotment of too much or too less work to one teacher is avoided. Further, total workload of every teacher is readily available from the timetable. Timetable ensures equitable distribution of time to different subjects and activities. A good timetable takes into account the relative importance of different subjects and activities, and time is allotted accordingly. Thus, more important subjects and activities are given more attention and time. At the same time, the less important subjects and activities are not neglected at all. Next, timetable helps in adjusting schoolwork according to the needs of students. The timetable helps the school authorities to adjust schoolwork according to the physiological needs of students. Fatigue, interest, and freshness of mind and body are given due consideration at the time of constructing a timetable. Thus, it helps in adjusting schoolwork according to the needs of the students. Next, timetable helps in the formulation of good habits. Timetable helps in developing a systematic attitude towards work among students and teachers. Therefore, they develop good habits of regularity, orderliness, punctuality, and steadiness in work. Success of everyone in life depends on the formulation of these habits. Timetable provides scope for anticipating future educational programs and activities related to academic excellence and personality development of students. Such a plan of action can be incorporated in a timetable that is developed by the school. And finally, timetable promotes school discipline. School timetable is highly helpful in promoting proper discipline in the school. This is ensured through keeping students busy all through the school hours in desired activities. From this discussion, we can infer that a good timetable not only facilitates work but also adds efficiency in various spheres. And timetable gives a clear vision and comprehensive picture of school activities. A timetable is therefore an absolute necessity for every type of school. Now, we are moving to the third part of our discussion, that is, principles that govern timetable construction. Preparing a good timetable is really a complicated work. While preparing a timetable, certain aspects should be considered to make a well-balanced one. It should not be rigid and allow certain flexibility in it. The timetable has to be relaxed at times as per needs and circumstances. The timetable should be prepared in such a manner that it can be molded according to the needs and requirements without upsetting the other programs. While constructing a good timetable, some important principles should be considered. They are: of this first one, type of school. The type of school is a decisive factor in organizing various educational programs and activities in a school. For instance, activities that are organized in a junior basic school will differ from those in a secondary or higher secondary school. Similarly, activities in a rural school will differ from an urban school. Therefore, the specific needs of a school for which it exists should be taken into consideration while preparing the timetable. Second one, departmental regulations. Department of Education in each state has the power to fix the length of the school year, number of working days, the duration of the school day, the duration of each teaching period, and even the number of periods for each subject. As an illustration, we can analyze the recommendations of Education Commission in this regard. According to the Commission, the working hours per day should vary from 4 hours at the pre-primary stage to about 6 hours at the secondary stage. Then, the total periods do not include the time for co-curricular activities. The periods include the time for library period or the guided studies. Hours of instruction per annum at the primary stage should be about 900 hours, and at the upper primary and secondary stages they should be not less than 1000 hours and preferably raised to 1100 or even 1200 hours if conditions are favorable. It is therefore become essential that the school timetable be agreement with the government policy. Next one, amount of time available. Allotment of time to different subjects and activities is done on the basis of the amount of time available. Timetable will therefore be framed in accordance with the times set by the Department of Education. Next principle is relative importance and difficulty of subjects. Importance of a subject in the curriculum is assessed by its social, scientific, economic and cultural considerations as well as its future implications. Timetable also takes into account relative difficulty level of the subjects. Thus, timetable for a secondary school allots more time to the teaching of mathematics and English, not because they are more important, but because they are more difficult. In junior basic schools, more time is devoted to reading, writing, arithmetic and craft because of their difficult nature as compared to social studies and general science. Next one, incidence of fatigue. Fatigue is the state of inability to continue work after a prolonged activity of certain parts of the body, or it is a state of inability to sustain work. It may be physiological or mental. Fatigue weakens attention and perception and diminishes the power of insight and initiation. Hence, the learning rate is also diminished. Some subjects in the curriculum are more fatiguing than others. Learning them involves heavy mental strain and effort on the part of the learners. Such subjects, for instance, English and mathematics, should be taught during early hours of the day when the body and brain are fresh. It has been established that the second and third periods on a school day are the best to teach difficult subjects because the work reaches its highest peak at that time. Similarly, the second and third days of the week are considered best for learning since momentum of working is maximum on those days. Therefore, it is desirable that subjects like English, Indian languages and mathematics may be taught during the best periods of the day. Subjects like arts, crafts, writing, then manual work, etc., which require less concentration and mental strain, may be taught during the last periods. Studies show that children of lower classes get easily fatigued. Hence, it is recommended that the duration of the period in the lower classes should not exceed 30 minutes, and in the case of higher classes, it should not exceed 40 minutes. Next one, principle of justice. This principle insists that total work among the members of the staff should be assigned equally. It also implies distribution of work among the staff in accordance with their qualifications, experience and expertise. Such an attitude on the part of timetable setters will surely help to avoid frustration and offense from the part of the members of the staff. Next is the principle of variety. A good timetable is one which permits variety. Variety implies changing learning situations, which includes change of place and change of posture of students. Change of room, seat and posture is regarded as the best remedy against fatigue. It also implies providing easy and difficult subjects alternatively in the timetable. Similarly, if a subject is to be taught only for 2 or 3 periods in a week, it should be fixed in the timetable after regular intervals of time and days. Next, free periods for teachers. It is certain that free periods give much relief to the physical and mental strain of teachers. Language and science teachers require more time for correcting assignments. Further, science teachers need a lot of laboratory preparation before a science class. Therefore, timetable should provide scope for allotting needed free periods to such teachers. It is desirable that free periods are allotted in a scattered form throughout the week. Now comes principle of play, recreation and other co-curricular activities. Play is the natural instinct of children for their healthy growth. Recreational and co-curricular activities in a school are also aimed at developing specific competencies and skills of the students. They also facilitate development of true sportsmanship, socialization and leadership qualities of students. Therefore, students should not be deprived of their right to engage in play, recreation and co-curricular activities. This is ensured through allotting necessary periods in the timetable in a balanced form. And finally, principle of optimum utilization of school building and equipment. Designing of timetable depends much on the material equipments of the school, like the buildings, number and size of the classrooms, number of laboratories, workshops and furniture and equipments. A good timetable should take into account the feasibility of these material equipments and should make needed adjustment in the timetable for their maximum utilization. This will ensure effectiveness of the educational program in a better way. Now, we can have a look into the implications of timetable to schools' administrative effectiveness. Timetable makes managing the school system easier for the administrators. It also makes teaching and learning process easier and structured for students, teachers and administrators. Again, timetable gives school administrators a clear picture of what is happening in the classroom at any given time. Timetable assists the school administrators in maximizing school resources such as classroom availability, teacher availability and materials availability. Again, timetable assists the school administrators to add structure to the school system for planning and documentation purposes. Okay, dear students, I am concluding this session. Today, we discussed about what is timetable, what are the major types of timetable, then need and importance of timetable, and important principles that govern timetable construction, and now finally implications of timetable to schools' administrative effectiveness. Hope you understood. Okay, thank you very much.